Hey, Rich Smith.
Hey, Dean.
So today, Richard, rewriting your story,
Yeah.
rewriting your story from who you've been to who you're becoming. That's what we're talking about today. So it's all going to be around that story. I can't wait to get into this. Rewriting your story, bunch of aspects to that. There's a bunch of aspects. Determining what your story is, determining what you want it to be, determining what a story is. Do you know what a story is? And do you know what's true? That's what we're going to be talking about today. And that's what we're going to be working on in the inner circle, where our New Thought Tuesdays group gets together every week. Live conversation, private conversation to deepen and enrich our awareness of these spiritual principles and our use in our lives, in our creative careers, in our careers of every type, in our family. So that's why you go to newthoughttuesdays.com and you can check out newthoughttuesdays.com. You can join the inner circle through an interview with Rich, or you can come and get the links for these live streams. So
Great. I love it. I love the title you chose. Uh, from who you've been to who you're becoming. I like who I am. I approve of who I've been and who I'm becoming. I just don't like where I'm at right now.
aha.
So we can change that with New Thought teachings, correct? With spiritual teachings is what we're going to talk about today. And
Especially
so,
since New Thought teachings are all about the truth of being in the now and recognizing that the past and your perception of it and the future of your perception of it is pretty much an illusion. But yes,
so it's
yeah,
time to create a new reality. I've been talking a lot, Dean, about, I don't like where I'm at right now. I want to make changes,
right,
right? And
right.
and again, a lot of you guys out there can identify with this. You want to make changes. You're afraid to do it. You worry about, what are the results of making this change are going to be. And then what happens? All of a sudden, you put that rocket of desire out there. You want change, and the universe will boot you out of wherever you're at. That's what's happening to me. So, do you mind? Hey, let me talk about that. Let's use this as a launching point of our conversation. So here's the thing. I've been wanting a change and too afraid to change. We have a three-bedroom apartment. We wanted to downsize. Our daughters went off to college and, we need a smaller place. We don't want to be spending all this money in LA, what it costs to rent, a three-bedroom apartment. We want to downsize. Been afraid to do it, right? And now all of a sudden we're first forced to do it because we kind of got a roommate in to help with the rent in one of the bedrooms that the girls used. And, and all of a sudden it's like the universe is saying, okay, the landlord says, hey, you're not supposed to have a roommate in there. You got 3 days to get rid of the roommate or leave the premises. And so Jen and I are sitting there going, what do we want to do? We've been wanting change. The universe is throwing this in front of us. Maybe it's time to make that change and to move. So I'm in prayer about it. I'll let you guys know next week what happened. But what do you think of that, Dean? The whole idea of wanting to make changes, but yet you're afraid to do it.
Well,
And
the first thing I want to do, I want to talk about therein is technical. Speak from the position of I want as opposed to we. Because, yes, absolutely, in our partnerships, our marriages, and all of that, in our divine right relationships, there's much collaboration, and collaboration is a wonderfully creative thing. When it comes to the wanting position, I like to encourage folks to come from the what I want, just to keep it authentically clear with your own emotions and what your own spiritual desire is. But then you get into that whole thing too, Rich, of I love the term, and it's an Abraham term, isn't it? Rockets of desire.
oh yeah,
Oh, I love that
fire
term.
those rockets of desire.
Rockets of desire.
Yeah.
Rockets of desire. So what I think about it is, first off, you said, hey, you guys check in with me next week to see how it all went. You have an expectation of easy and effortless flow.
Yeah.
You have an experience of, I believe spiritually it's called, this sucks.
Yeah.
I don't want this. You have an experience of that right now, but you also have an expectation, Rich, of divine flow,
Yeah.
things happening quickly.
And that's what we can talk about today. How do you find that divine flow? How do you open up and allow, let go, let God? As they say, the saying goes, let go, let God. And so, it's like, through prayer, meditation, talking with my wife about it, coming up with decisions together on how we want to move forward with this. But here's the thing. The universe is giving us an opportunity here now to make that choice because we were too afraid to make it before. And so we'll see how it all works out. I'm really
So,
open to divine intervention here, and I'm doing the work.
getting into this today's topic, which is rewriting your story.
Yeah,
You're becoming your story, Rich,
yeah,
is that you have a situation that is unwelcome, and your story surrounds how the universe works and what the universe might be doing for you right now, or what the universe is doing for you. You have a story around who your partnerships are in life. In this particular case, your wife. You have a story about what it is that you want to unfold. So the idea of rewriting your story is to first identify a story is just that. What you believe to be true, what I believe to be true, is as true as I believe it to be. And the story of how the universe works, even when you look at the master teacher, Jesus, when you look at Ernest Holmes, these are people who were creating new possibilities for the world. What possibilities am I creating with my own story? So you have a story about how the universe works and what you want to have happen and how the universe is happening right now. And if that story serves you, if you're like, yeah, I really like that story, that's the story, that's the premise that you can move forward to as you rewrite your story.
yeah,
That's your story of the universe. Your story of your living situation is, I have a living situation that is serving me quite nicely. I have a relationship with somebody who is related with this living situation, which has turned a little bit quickly and soured. And it is asking me to do some things in my own human life that I'd prefer not to do. So you've got a story going on with your whole living situation. And you've got a story going on with the relationships in that relationship.
yeah.
And you're about to say something.
Yeah, I was going to say that, one of the things that really helps is your intuition. That's one of the ways that you can go in and say, okay, because infinite intelligence, God, divine presence, knows you better than you know yourself. It knows everything about you. It knows exactly what is the highest good for you. It's always giving the highest good, and it's always opening doors. And I know that if I decide to make this move, that the doors are going to open for something even greater. This is something better shall come my way is when I, end my prayer treatments and stuff. This is something better shall come my way. And I'm looking forward to it. And so, but, we live in fear and anxiety and stuff like that. So go with your emotions. What does it feel like? What is it going to look like to make this move? What is it going to look like within the relationship, within your career, within your environment? What is the dream that you're dreaming? And then when you start to take action towards that, how does it feel? I had a friend who called me this morning. She's thinking of getting another dog because her dog is kind of lonely at home, but she's in anxiety about that. She's got 3 cats, a dog, and she's calling me up. She said, I'm so in anxiety about getting another dog, but there's this dog at this kennel and I want to go look at it today and stuff. And I said, what are you, what are your emotions telling you? Go with the emotion. If it doesn't feel right, then maybe it's not time to do that. Maybe it's time to just wait and get some guidance and wait for the right dog to show up or the right timing to show up. Maybe the timing's off. And she said, thank you so much. That really helps. But I'm going to look at the dog anyways. So I said, okay, well, that's your choice. But when you look at the dog, when you're there, go with your gut feeling. Go with
Right.
your feelings. So that's something that I wanted to talk about too, is your gut feelings. That's the way infinite intelligence speaks to you when you want, change your story. You want to change your story. Well, you got to go with your gut feeling. How does it feel? How does it feel? What is the intuition telling you? What are your instincts? These are the things that are going to lead you in the right directions. That's how infinite intelligence communicates with you through these different feelings, emotions, instincts, ideas, things that you're coming up with. And there's no limit to what you can create.
Now,
That's the that's
all
the
right.
beauty of it.
And this is where I'm going to be provocative because, Rich, I agree with you 100%. Everything that you said, we could record it or play it back. I agree with you 100%. And that's still your story. This is how you and I perceive the universe in this way. It's a story that really works for me because I've noticed that as I see the possibilities, as I see how this is happening for me, as I feel, sense, and know goodness is ever around me, more shows up. As I feel paranoid, sad, frustrated, angry, I get
Mhm.
more paranoid, sad, frustrated, angry that shows up around me, which
Mm,
is also my story, but it's my experience. So this idea of who you're becoming, and you see the smile on my face. Rich and I have been having some really terrific conversations. This whole idea about who we're becoming, each one of us in this moment is becoming something new
yeah.
in this moment. So it really is up to each one of us of who do we want to becoming? Who do we want to become? And and if we believe, sense, and know that our own divine desires can get worked into this story, then we can become who we are divinely desiring to be with those rockets of desire. This is not hugely complex,
Yeah.
but it does take faith
It
and it
takes
takes
faith.
and
And with
practice.
and practice. And indeed, there's no limitations to what you can create. The only limitations are the ones you're holding up in your own mind. And so if you can think it and you can believe it, you can create it. And so to me, it's breaking free of that fear. Okay, so I got to make a choice here, whether we want to stay here and keep paying exorbitant rent and not have the support of a roommate, or do we want to just let go, let God, trust, and move forward with a bigger dream? A dream of a less expensive place, to save money and invest it, whatever we want to do with that. But it's all about just taking a step forward. Lao Tzu says, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. But if you're stuck in fear, doubt, and worry, and you can't take that first step, you're never going to know. You take that first step, you know? And so, we're taking it. Posted something on next door to try to find a one bedroom place rather than a 3 bedroom. It's just the two of us. So, you know, it's the universe has your back. It's always taking care of you. God, divine presence. I always said my good is always knocking on my door. I have to believe that.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're telling your story. What story that's my story. My story is that I'm working with an unlimited power and presence, not withholding anything from me. My good is always knocking on my door. Everything. God is watching my back and is supplying me with all of my needs are met. Everything is being supplied to me that I need to be able to fulfill this dream. What is the dream? Knowing your dream is the first step. What is your dream? What do you want to create for the future? Because there's no limitations to that. My wife's been talking about this big, beautiful house that we're going to get and live in with the pillars, and she visions it every day. It's like, yeah, okay, but in this environment, that ain't going to happen. Let's open the door okay, and allow God, divine presence, to guide us into an opportunity where we will be able to afford this big, beautiful house.
And having said that, in this environment, that ain't going to happen is a limiting belief that is circling around. It is that sense of, well, but this is just the way it is in the human plane. There is that intelligence there. It's not like anybody's going to go, yeah, well, have you looked at where you lived lately? It's kind of a really nice area. That human thing, that human limited belief, but we can rise above and walk through these limiting, even that kind of, yeah, but look at, yeah, here's what the appearance is. Each step of the way, we get to identify what is the highest and best relationship that I can have in my life with this particular marriage that I have, that with this particular living state. What is the story of where I want to be coming into? And with your knowledge, with your faith, Rich, that's where you constantly have, even when there are some going on, and hey, welcome to the human situation, a limiting belief that I have. Even when there's some going on, you are able to go right back to, this is what I believe. And that's
And
where New Thought Ancient Wisdom teaching has been so great for me.
and that's where having a practitioner can go to. I called Dean yesterday when all of this came up, and I talked to him about it because, he's a practitioner. I'm a practitioner. He's a licensed practitioner. I just do it because I enjoy doing it and I can do it. However, you know, talking to a practitioner who just speaks the truth. He did a prayer treatment. He just spoke the truth about my relationship, about my future, about my life. And you know what? That's all you need sometimes. And so, it's like, it's so good to have a coach or a practitioner to work through the stuff because we can block ourselves. Like my friend with the cat, I'm all worried. I don't know what to do. And then you go and give some spiritual advice, go with your intuition. What does it feel like? Can you vision it? Can you see yourself with this? How do you see yourself with this new dog? Do you see yourself going crazy? Because that's what's bringing up the anxiety. Is this what you're visioning? That, oh my God, I'm going to have two dogs. I got to feed two dogs. And now I'm going to have two dogs running around the house and three cats. And if that's the vision that you're having, then that's what you're going to get.
Yep.
So if she can calm herself down and see herself with this beautiful dog and that helps take care of the other dog, she has problems with the other dog not walking and she's got to tow, it tows her along, and she's worried about two dogs towing her along. But you don't know, start visioning that maybe this other dog will calm the other dog down and they'll walk together and you'll have a nice, easy walk. Start visioning that. Whatever you vision in your mind is what you can create, is what will create. It will
Yep.
create it.
Yep.
So, how do they get in touch with you, Dean, if they need your help like I needed it yesterday?
DeanRegan.com, DeanRegan.com, or Dean@DeanRegan.com is a great way to get hold of me. And how can they get hold of you,
Just
Rich?
look up the Infinite Filmmaker, Google it. I'm all over the place. You'll get my
Oh,
email address and all of that stuff. Go to theinfinitefilmmaker.com. I have a lot of different things that I offer, even some very low priced group coaching sessions and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really important to have support and get a therapist. If you're having a challenge and a hard time, get a therapist working through some of the issues that you have, or get a practitioner. I go with the practitioner thing because to me, it's a quicker fix. You know, no, you just speak the truth. You don't go in there and talk about, oh, what's going on with my life. And, it takes years to work through this stuff. It's like with a practitioner, we're just going to nail you with the truth. The truth is you are a unique, individualized expression of the infinite. You have the power within you to create the life you want. Whatever you want, your dreams can come true. You just have to vision them and imagine them. And I'm going to help you vision and imagine those dreams.
And they are coming true right now, just as you vision them. And then you'll see as they come through how you vision them. So be very clear about this now thing, Richard. This now thing. I'm having some challenges with the now thing, you said, focusing on who you truly are. And as Rich is a a wonderful spiritual coach and I'm a wonderful spiritual practitioner, we all have our go-to folks.
Yeah.
It's not like you get this awareness and you transcend the human experience. It becomes, for me, it's become a lot more easy to navigate the human experience, but I have my practitioners, Rich is one of them, that I go to as well. And they help me identify what is the story I'm telling myself. What is the story about the person that I am becoming?
Yeah.
And I get to watch it unfold.
Yeah.
So that's where we are. And
how do you change that story?
And how you change that
How
story.
do you rewrite the screenplay for your movie of your life? You know, I always said that, and I'm just going to take a few more minutes. I know we're going over, but, you know, here's the thing. There's a screenplay for your life that's perfect, whole, and complete in the mind of the infinite, where beauty and harmony and peace and joy, the perfect right dog, the perfect environment, the perfect living space, it's already done in the mind of the infinite. That script is already written. Only we're writing this, we're using the script that was written by producers that are living in fear, doubt, and worry. Oh, we got to make a film that's going to sell, put sex in it and drugs and all this other stuff. You know, and the thing is that that's the script, the original script by the infinite filmmaker for your life was rewritten, and that's the script we're living. And it's time to go back to the original script of perfection for your life, unfolding in perfect order, and allow the divine to come through and guide you into your vision. You got a vision, you know. I've caught hold of a vision, and thanks to Dean, God, infinite intelligence, put Dean in my path there, so I can call him up and say, Dean, I'm going through this challenge right now. Can you help me out? And so, you know, rewrite that screenplay. You know, how do you rewrite it? What are you thinking about? What are you talking about? What are you acting upon right now? You're writing the screenplay for the movie of your life. Every time you think a thought, take an action, speak a word, you know, you're creating that, you're creating the future, the movie of your life. So be conscious of what you're thinking about, talking about, and acting upon. And we help you do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we help each other do that. And
Yeah.
we help ourselves do that. That's how we are. That's how with my clients, this is where we build this awareness so that it's not totally external, that we can have this awareness and have the tools. And that's what we talk about in the inner circle is we put those tools into action. And so today in our inner circle, we're going to be talking about rewriting your story from being the person you are now to being the person you are becoming. And we're going to talk about how we can do that, the how, the nuts and bolts, the spiritual nuts and bolts. So if you want to be part of that, go to newthoughttuesdays.com, read it, and sign up for that which calls to you, and you can be part of the inner circle. So speaking of which, let's go to the inner circle, Rich, where we're stuck on all recordings.
Or if you go to newthoughttuesdays.com, you can also sign up to get reminders for this webinar, so you can watch it on YouTube, on Dean's Facebook page. You can watch it on YouTube, my YouTube channel, New Thought Tuesdays YouTube channel, and that way you can watch this live. And you'll get a reminder one day before and then 1 hour before, and that's it. You won't get inundated with emails. So go to New Thought Tuesdays and sign up for that. And so we'll see you next Tuesday.
Absolutely.
Okay. Take care.
Talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Going into the inner circle.